So this is a Bailey Pegasus Palermo. Just going to go around the van and show you how it operates. Front of the van, you've got the jockey wheel, handbrake and hitch and the connection to the car. This is something we'll go through in person here on site. Right hand side of the van at the front, you've got your wind down leg, and the same on the opposite side of the van. And again, we'll go through them when you're here on site. Water pump connection, very simple. You've got your pump or pump end that goes into the side of the van, pushes into place, the cap locks down to hold it into place. The other end of the pump drops into the active roll, as you can see. Hopefully you can see that. The pump end drops into the active roll itself. You've then got your Truma heating vent on the side of the van, and that is the gas flow essentially for the heating and hot water systems. In the locker on the side here, you've got your gas regulator up on the top of the, or up on the side of the bolt on the side of the van, and then you've got your gas bottle with gas valve on top. The valve on top, open and closed, turn on the gas flow or to close it off, and then you've also got your gas valve, gas pipe work going into the bottle, which is a reverse thread fitment. The motor movers in the van we'll go through at the end of the handover, and we'll demonstrate how they work. You've got the two fridge vents on the side of the van. These again are for the back of the fridge and let out any excess hot air out the back of the fridge unit. And behind the top one, you'll also have the gas flue for the heat for the fridge system itself. Then got your grey waste pipes, so the water goes in the front of the van just here. And the two grey waste pipes come out the side, which is where the waste water comes out. That is not for the toilet system. That is just for the water tank at the front of the van. Then got your locker for underneath the bunks at the rear, as you can see. On the rear of the van on either side, you've got your wind down legs, which stabilise the caravan while you're inside of it. We've got the one down for the purpose of handover. But however, when you're on site, you'd have all four legs down to stabilise the van. We've got a toilet flush tank just here, which takes 3.5 litres of water, so you undo it with a key. Put in 3.5 litres of water and a cap full of the pink fluid. At the back of the van, also, you have the toilet cassette, which you release by pulling up the orange handle and pulling it towards you. The neck here turns out to allow you to tip the waste away, and on the back of the cassette, you've got an orange pressure relief button to allow the air out of the tank while you're tipping the waste away, so it doesn't spit and splatter back at you. The grey cap here is what you'll measure the toilet fluids off. So one grey cap full of the blue fluid, and then 1 litre of water into the toilet cassette before use. That allows the waste that goes into the cassette to be broke down, and we never advise using thick toilet rolls, just due to the fact it can't break it down fully. You've got your mains power lead going to the side of the van, as you can see. So that is very simply pushed into the side, and that is your mains power connection. Then got your 3-pin socket for the outside of the van, so you can get power into the awning if you ever wish to. The motor mover power switch I'll come back to later in the video. The wheel nuts we'll talk before we take the caravan from here, just so you know they've been tightened correctly, and we'll get you to watch us doing that. It's 120 Newton meters the wheel nuts need talking to before the caravan is towed, and we do advise doing this quite regularly. You've then got your storage locker for under the front seating area of the van, and you'll also find there's a black tray in there where you can put in damp items, just so it doesn't get damp on the floor of the actual van itself. So we are now on the inside of the caravan. As you can hear, the radio is playing away, so you can hear that's all working. I'm just actually going to turn that off now, which will very simply press and hold the power button, and the radio will turn off. To turn the mains power on inside the caravan, once you've got mains lead connected, or the 12 volt if you're off grid, you'll turn on this power switch here. You've got the water pump run to the right of that. You've got your internal roof lighting and your awning light on the right hand side. At the top here, you've got a voltmeter for the battery on board the caravan to let you know what voltage the battery is running at. You'll notice just in front of the bunks there's actually a panel in the floor that removes, and that is actually the battery box for the caravan. And we have put a battery in there just to demonstrate that the motor movers are working at the end of the video. So to fill the water system on board the caravan, very simple to do. You're first of all going to come under the seat on the right hand side of the caravan at the front. And underneath here, you'll find a hot water tank, which with down the side of it, there'll be a yellow valve. So that tank that you can see there with the white pump, the white filter on it, is actually the hot water tank. The yellow valve you see down the side of that, just straight below the video, what's in the middle of the video, is the drain down valve for the water system. Now when that valve is parallel with the floor, you'll be able to fill the water system on board the caravan. And when that valve is pointing upright towards the bottom of the seat, it will drain all of the water from the system on board the van. So once you've got that yellow valve parallel with the floor, you can open all the taps up on the hot side. You'll actually notice I've already filled the water system. But you notice the tap's open on the hot side, and the water pump's turned on, and we've got water running freely out of all the taps. But what will happen is, the first time you turn on the tap, you'll have no water coming out of it. You would need to come over to the control panel by the door and turn on the water pump just here. Once you've got water flowing out of every tap, as we have in this particular van, so like I said, all the taps would need to be open on the hot side to bleed the water system. So we've got water coming out of there. Water coming out on the sink. Water on the shower also. Once you got all that water, all the air out of the system, and you got water coming out of every tap, you can start warming the water on board the caravan. While we're going through the water system, we'll also explain to you how the heating system works for the caravan. So this control panel just here that says trimmer up in the top corner is for the heating and hot water itself. So you press the central button. The option you see here that's flashing at the moment, which says boost above it, is the hot water system. So you've got hot water off, you've got it on eco, which is around 30 degrees of water temperature, hot, which is around 40 to 45, and boost, which is what you'd use for showering on board the van, and that'll boost the water to around 55 to 60 degrees. To select the temperature you want, you press the central button, and it will set the temperature for you. So like I said, that is how you warm the water on board the caravan. To the left here, we actually have the room temperature. To select the room temperature, again, the dial spins either way, so you've got off all the way around to 30 degrees. To set the room temperature, you'll just press the central button or the button inwards, and that will set the temperature. And the icon up here that looks like a gas flame, or a flame should I say, is letting me know the caravan is warming up. Next up, we'll go across to the power source we want to use. So you've got electric 1, which is 1000 watts of power coming into the caravan. Electric 2, which is 2000 watts of power coming into the caravan. Mix 2, which is 2000 watts of electric and gas at the same time. Mix 1, which is 1000 watts of electric and gas at the same time. And then we have gas on its own. To set the power source you want to use, you'll very simply just press the central button again, and it will select the relevant power source that you have selected. On the end here, you have the option to run your blown air heating. Now you have three options on here. You have eco, high, or boost. Now boost is what you'd run the heating on if it was very cold, or the blown air system on if it was very cold, just to keep the caravan warm inside. The high, a general setting for just keeping the van warm while you're inside of it. Then eco, if you just want to get a bit of air circulating within the caravan. Again, to select the relevant one, you press the central button in, and that sets the fan speed. At the bottom here, which we advise you read the manual for setting, you've got a timer here for your heating and hot water, you've got the clock, and you've got some advanced options in here, which is mainly for the engineers, but there is also a reset in there for resetting this control panel if it ever got stuck. And again, for all three of these at the bottom, we do advise you read the manual. Next thing I'm going to show you is the hob ignited, just so you can see everything's working as it should on the hob. So there we go, there's your hob ignited with the gas, just so you can see it's working. The electric ring, the red light has come on the front, which I'll just show you. But unfortunately I can't exactly show you any flame coming from there as it's an electric hob. So when you're here on site, if you give that a go, just so you know it is working as it should. Next up we're going to go to the grill. So you've got the grill system here. as you can see, the grill has ignited as well. And in the bottom, the last thing we go through on the cooker, as you can see again, the cooker is working as it should. Next thing I'm going to go to is the fridge. You've got 240, you've got off at the top here, 240 mains, and you can control the temperature on this dial on the right hand side. 12 volt, which is the 12 volt power supply from the car, so it operates the fridge as a cool box. At the bottom here, you've got the option to run on gas for the fridge. You'll press in the temperature control and hit the igniter at the same time. And you'll notice when it ignites on gas, that little red line goes round into the green. So that is your pilot light for the gas system. Let me just turn it off and show you again. So as you can see, when the gas system's off for the fridge, the line will be in the white. So I've actually just caught that as it's reigniting. So when it does ignite, or to ignite it, you'll press in the temperature valve and hit the igniter at the same time. And that red line will come round into the green to let me know it has ignited on gas. Again, on gas or mains, you control the fridge temperature on this dial just here. When you're done with the caravan, we do advise that you turn off the fridge completely, just so when you're travelling, or unless you're using it on 12 volt, obviously when you're on your way to site, but we do advise if you're not using it to turn it off completely. The microwave above is an eco microwave, so to get the microwave to actually wake up, it's not on at the moment, we'll press the eco button and it will come back on. And then you've got your controls across the bottom for setting a time. As you can see, I've set it for 10 minutes of this occasion, but we'll stop that now. But again, you can see the microwave is working as it should. In the bathroom of the van, the toilet system, very simple to use. You've got an electric flush on the toilet, just here on the blue button. You've got the toilet waste flap in the centre, which you open with this grey handle down the bottom, and to open it, you pull the flap across to the right, and that allows the toilet waste to go in the cassette under the van. Now the toilet does turn for your convenience, so it does turn on an angle. However, when you are taking the toilet cassette out from underneath the van, you do need to make sure that the toilet is pointing straight towards the front of the van, as you can see. If it is turned, like towards myself, where I'm stood with the camera, you wouldn't be able to remove the cassette from under the van just due to the fact it has a lockout to stop that from happening. The next thing I'm going to demonstrate is the motor mover on the outside of the caravan, just so you can see that is all operational. And once we've done that, essentially, once we've done that, that'll be the end of the video. But if you had any further questions at all on the operation of the van while you're here on site or afterwards, you're more than welcome to give us a call here at the Caravan Company, and we do all we can to assist you. But like I said, we'll go to the outside now. You probably won't hear from me again, apart from for the motor mover demonstration. So thank you for watching. Continue watching for the motor mover demonstration, and we look forward to seeing you here on site. Thank you very much. So to engage the motor mover, we've got a red power key here, and on the side of the van, we've got this receiver. So you push it into place, turn the key 90 degrees, and it will turn the power onto the motor mover itself. Once you've done that, you can press the two green buttons on the controller, and that will turn the controller on. And to get the motor mover to engage against the wheel, because as you'll see at the moment, it's not against the wheel, we'll press the button here with the green arrow next to it, and the central button here. And once I press those two, the mover will actually start moving up against the wheel. So I'll leave that there so you can watch that engage. So once that's engaged against the van, or against the wheel, as you can see it is now, we'll actually take the motor mover controller, release the handbrake on the front of the van, then at that point we've got forwards, backwards. Turn. Turn. And you've got the same for the rear of the caravan. And back the opposite way. And then you can turn the caravan on the spot by pressing the 2 buttons opposite each other, and the caravan will turn through 360 degrees. To disengage the motor mover, once you've used it, you'd pull the handbrake back on. You'd press the central button on the controller and the one with the red arrow next to it. Never turn the motor mover off until the mover has completely stopped moving. And so once the yellow dot actually gets back into the central position on the red arrow side of the mover, you'll actually notice after that it moves again, and what it's doing is resetting itself for the next time. So there we go, it's moving again. Once it has completed the movement the second time to reset itself, you can then turn the mover off. If you do it halfway through that sequence, it could actually cause a problem with the mover, where it's not in line for the next use, and it could have to be reset on each corner. Thank you for watching the video, we hope it's been of some help.